Hi, Multiverse Masters. This is my medieval portion of my sim. You have some nice introductions that are scripted in. I'm going to be scripting in some other introductions. And so you have this nice gate area that you enter through, and this is the entry point of this gamification project I want to do. So right now I have the environment built, and what I hope to do is build some basic curriculum, build in some quests, a point system, some riddles, quizzes, things like that into this area. That's what was going on there. I changed my avatar look from being a fairy to being a person again. So you have the blacksmith over here, and I haven't really scripted any specific interaction in this area, but the blacksmith area would be a good scavenger hunt area or clue area. You've got different, very specific signifiers here. You have the baking area and the baker's house. This one is a cottage. It doesn't really have a signifier yet, but I think it's really important in designing that I have very specific. So I might want to think about adding a signifier here that would be good, a good clue, because you've got the baker, you've got the blacksmith, you've got the butcher area. So this would probably be a good butcher's house. I could maybe move the butcher area over here. So I have to keep those things in mind, because if I want to do scavenger hunts, I want to make sure that the student will be able to know where to go based upon the clues, because you've got the little butcher shop here, but the butcher needs a house. So maybe I'll make that the butcher's house and put a signifier over that, the butcher and his wife. And you have the little well with the heron. Now a lot of this stuff is just frills because you're creating a nice environment. And that cackle came from the haunted forest over here. Now this soldier is guarding the queen's castle, which is right here. So if you get too close, the soldier will come after you. And it's just one of those little side things that is actually just... So you see the soldier caught me. And even though that doesn't have necessarily an educational context to it, it's just something that is interesting. It catches them off guard. It adds interest to the area. Pause right here and give you a better view of the area here by going up. You can see the queen moving around in the background. She is another NPC over here, which is the fairy queen. Down here they're actually saying things. So the fairy, see the soldier, if you have this open, you'll see a history of what you've clicked on. I clicked on the woman in the beginning and she said, "We love our dragons here. They are tamed. The humans not so much." The soldier whispers, "Come back when you learn how to run." The fairy queen is talking right now because I'm near her. So as you hang out in this area, you're going to get more clues like this, and you're going to hear a full conversation that she's saying just in general. You don't have to respond back to her. Now there are scripts that I've used that I can program where if someone says something to you and you say something back to them, then there's a programmed response. So in that regard, I can have someone say, ask a question, have an NPC ask a question using a script, and give them the option of saying one or two things either in the script or just let them answer. And based upon their answer, have another piece of information given. So this could be incorporated into a choose your own adventure type of scenario, saying where you are given a choice, and then when you make that choice, another piece of information is given to you that you then go to. Or it can be in the clue aspect. So they can ask a math question. And if they respond correctly, then they'll be given a good clue. If they don't respond correctly, a couple things can happen. I can program it to say, no, try again, or have them give them a misleading clue. There's so much you can do with scripting with these objects. And seeing an avatar and having a quest in this manner is a lot better than doing a quiz board. They see a question, they answer it. They see another question, they answer it, and then they can be awarded a prize. But some people may respond better, instead of that quiz board, to actually having a person in the virtual world, even if it's artificial person, a non-player character, saying it instead of them looking at a virtual quiz board. Now this is the queen. These are just programmed to randomly repeat the same sequence of statements, but you can program clues into those. In my other simulations, I have some of the content where when you say something, they say something specific back. I just haven't developed it in this area specifically for the game ideas that I want to create. So then you have the Forbidden Forest.
I was giving away all the secrets. So this is going to be basically a lot of content and sections, and maybe this will be best served as a storyboard rather than a 30-minute long video. So this is a section that's sped up. You can just use your imagination. Lots of good ideas I have here.
This gamification area is basically going to take up 2 of these islands. So this area at the top where the water is and the maze is across. The lower area to the lower right will be an area that I can section off just for the student to go and learn about building things and being able to build with prims and learning how to terraform the land and just even taking the prizes they get. Say if they wanted to build their own little area, then this would be a good section where they can take a prize and maybe a castle, put it in their own little area. So that lower section will be a place where they can do that. It's going to be a student section. And what I can do with that is make that a restricted section so that no one else, unless given permissions, can go into that area.